Good morning. I am Michelle Varney. I teach second grade at Mullen School here in Pike County. I've always been afraid to get into the ARI grant writing business, and my colleague Jean Cottle, she's been begging me to do it. So this year, of course, we all have identified problems in our classroom, and one thing that I've noticed teaching second grade is that a great portion of my children are coming to second grade without the readiness that they need to learn the second grade content. Roughly on the MAP test, if you guys are familiar with that, it's the measures of progress assessment that I know everybody in Pike County uses that. 30% of our children were actually below benchmark. And that's pretty, I think pretty extreme when you have a room of 25 children. So I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? I know kindergarten is teaching the content. I know first grade is teaching the content. What can I do differently to maybe perhaps engage, make it more exciting? So I started doing some research, and I found a game, which actually another colleague when I was discussing this was telling me about a game named, or a game-based learning Prodigy. It's totally free, so you might want to notice it onto here. You may want to use it with your children. It's very engaging, very enticing. It makes it so super exciting for the kids. And basically what it is, you've got two options. You can assign your children to certain content, or instead of doing that, you can have them take a placement test, and then based on what they are, what they score low in, that's what they'll focus on. So what I've chose to do so far in my classroom is to have them placed. I haven't placed them. Now, it may be that I notice when I get reports that, this is what we need to focus on. Let's just go ahead or I can even group them and say this group needs this, and I can assign them that. But for right now, I'm doing this. I'm just getting my feet wet, so to speak. And another problem, of course, is how do you make sure your children get adequate time? They need 30 to 60 minutes a week. Well, as you all know, classroom teachers in here know, there's not much technology in your classroom unless you do receive a grant. So I have 5 student computers. Well, my school says I must do this reading program, and some children have to have an hour a week. Wow. And then I have to do another program, which they are required to do 15 minutes 3 times a week. So I'm left with not a lot of computer time. So I have sent my purchase order in and everything to get Chromebooks because I'm going to use it during differentiated small group instruction. I'm going to have one of the actual centers or workshops be Prodigy. So a little bit about Prodigy. It's basically, if you guys have kids, you see them playing video games, it's like that. It's basically one big game, but they're learning math facts. It actually teaches them, it'll... if they don't understand it, it'll say, oops, and give them like little hints so they don't get super frustrated. And they have a wizard, and their wizard learns spells based on how well they do with their questions that they answer. Their wizard goes up against bad guys, and so that's really fun for them. And it'll actually take their wand and go, shoom, and bonk the person they're against, and it takes away their lives just like a game that you play. Another cool thing, if they're playing with a classmate or someone that they know, it doesn't use their real names. It's like an avatar that they create. So they'll have these crazy names, but they know each other. Well, they can meet up and actually be in the same location, and they can play together and go against each other. So we just started doing this, and I'm having to just use it on my desktops, and they're not getting to do it very often. But the other day I had a group on there, and I was letting them do it, and it was chaotic, crazy. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, guys, calm down, calm down. And they were like, but he just beat me. He just took his sword and blah, and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, it's math excitement. I'll take it. So basically my goal is, though, I want these kids to love math. It's so scary to some. I mean, even like I never loved math when I was little, but we didn't do cool stuff, like this. So I really want them to have that love for learning math in particular, because that seems to be something so scary, and it's even scary for parents when I talk to them. They're like, "Well, I was horrible at math," and and they just to be able to give them a resource, because they do this at home also, and they can do it at home. Parents can sign up for an account. It will send them reports. Super cool. So for me as a teacher, at the end of the day, I can go sit down, I pull up the data. It will tell me exactly what my children have worked on, how they have done. It's color-coded, even for you, super simple. I've got that data right there. That drives my instruction. I mean, I can do it. It's real-time data, super, super simple, easy to use. I'm just really, really excited to see how it affects their math success. So I think it's going to be really positive. I've read a lot of reviews about Prodigy. Really, really a lot of qualitative data, although there is a lot of quantitative data with it also. So, let's see if there's anything else I was going to say. Oh, there's also virtual manipulatives. So you just have to watch. I've noticed some of them will take the little virtual manipulatives, like build houses and things. But, okay, let's focus with anything, how they do. It's totally, like I've told you, though, it's differentiated based on how they do on that assessment. And so for me, though, it has assessment, feedback, differentiation, all in one place. I don't have to go and search for things. So I'm excited to come back in the spring, let you all know how my MAP scores, how they have done in the winter, and then again, when we take it in the spring, I'm expecting big results. Any questions?